pretty interesting in watching when you take a break from everything. There's just so many assumptions about what's going on. And so many people feel like they know me best. And they have no idea who I am, nor what I'm about, or what I stand for, or even attempt to take the time, or even for me to invite them to take the time. So it's a two-way street. And when things become overwhelming in life, you just got to take a step back and realize what's important. And I love to play. It's never been questioned. I've committed myself, when this wasn't even a thing for me. I didn't really care about media, didn't really care about the fandom. All I cared about was just the ethics of the game and being taught the fundamentals. And now that it's become bigger and it's more of a responsibility that I have in this position I'm in.
Ultimately, since I've been growing up in this basketball industry, a professional life, I've just tried to leave as many messages behind for the youth to pick up and feel like their dreams are possible. Making it to the NBA.
Was very excited, just to have dreams here. Obviously, letting go of some of the pieces that have been here in the Nets organization for a while, even before I got here. It was going to be hard regardless. It's just the nature of the business. We're all brothers still, so we're just moving on into the next phase of just developing as a team and just building some camaraderie and having fun.
But the other side of me is also my mother, Elizabeth, who gave me kind of that inner confidence and that inner belief to go after things that are bigger than myself. I've struggled with trying to find out why the thing that happened to me so young, but I also find simple answers when I leave it up to God, and I also pray, but also when I'm acting on my beliefs. And that's what I attribute to my dad and other coaches when I was very young, is they knew that I was missing a piece of me very young, but they always tried to fill in those pieces by doing things that would encourage me to speak out more about how I feel.
There's nothing normal about this life that I live. It's just something I've come to accept and embrace as, let me use this as a tool to be able to change things that I want to see in the world. And I have to be honest with myself about how much energy I give that and how many others I'm actually impacting. So when I remove myself from something, you can definitely feel the weight, and the absence definitely means something. And I'm aware of that. And like I said, I take full accountability.
Even if you've lost, or you don't have your mother, your papa, your grandpa, whomever in your family, your cousin, your nephew, does not mean that they wanted you to stop living. All they wanted you to do was continue to put one foot in front of the other, get out of bed, and be grateful that you had a chance to live another day.
I made that choice that young because in a world like today, it's needed. You can't really be afraid of what may come your way, trying new things or trying to challenge yourself, that inner self of really developing who you are, right? You don't have to be afraid of yourself. So
there's a lot of family and personal stuff going on, so just want to leave it at that.
I would say to myself now that doubt is just another energy, it's just another emotion that we have to deal with. So we should transmute that into something more positive and handle it in a more mature way if you can. And when I was younger, I definitely dealt with doubt.
So that's where the purpose is driving me to. That's where All Even Tribe comes in. They know how I've felt about losing my mom or losing my grandmother, but I've also gained so much more in this physical world. And then also I know that they're in a better place. This world gets a little crazy at times, so I know that they're in a better place.
It's been great. It's been enough support for me to, feel like they have my back. And, that's all I can ask for. The support, not only me, but my family. I'm a hometown kid, so, things hit a little different when, family or personal stuff going on, and that's up to me to handle that as a man. But yeah, I just take full accountability for my absence with the guys, and, just had a conversation with each one of them, and we move on.
Right, as men, we don't get the the benefit of doubt at times when we're trying to be vulnerable, or we're trying to tell things about how we feel, or share it in vulnerable spaces, even like this, right? This is a vulnerable space in front of all these young men and women here, but mainly young men. And to still have that confidence to know that you're not going to be judged, you're not going to be embarrassed. So I felt like my dad, along with other coaches and mentors and guys, taught me how to be confident and don't be afraid to take chances on bigger things. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo. Don't be afraid to go against.
So for me, I'm just taking every day, just being grateful, but for the casual or the fanatic, it's part of our culture. And, I'm back. I'm happy to be back. And we got some great pieces, and we just move on. And I let my actions and my game speak for itself like I planned on doing, just needed a pause.
Becoming a champion of life is waking up with that gratitude in your heart, knowing you got a chance because you took a breath. Everything else is pretty much second nature, or comes second to just taking a breath and realizing that not everybody gets to wake up every single day and take that breath again. And if you've had to watch families be broken apart initially when someone transitions, it's difficult. So that's why I'm always aware of my responsibility as a figure in the public eye, because I know I represent those that are still trying to rationalize the pain that they went through at whatever age, and then also see others that have had similar circumstances still being successful.
The inner monologue that I have with myself now is totally different than when I was a kid, but it's similar in terms of the approach and just being open-minded and being a man that's not afraid to stand on what you believe in and speak on what you believe in. So I'll say that.
I'm grateful because I'm able to stand on this platform with others alongside of me that have sacrificed and are going through similar things. So I'm not alone in this. And, that's just a big thing about also mental health, just coming in and being balanced with yourself first and then being able to perform. So with everything going on in the world, politically, socially, like I said, it's hard to ignore. I want to make changes daily. There are so many oppressed communities, so many things going on that are bigger than just a ball going in the rim.
Right. I believe that it can only be described from your point of view, and you have to learn how to be a student of anything. Mm-hmm. And you have to, they say humble yourself, but I think I would take it a step further. You have to initiate yourself into something bigger, where you have to make the choice internally and in your mind that you're going to go after something regardless of what people say or do around you. You're going to have to deal with so much more sacrifice than what people will realize on the surface. You're going to have to embody a spiritual nature that a lot of people can connect to.
It's not easy, but I enjoy every minute of it because I know I put in a lot of hours that people don't see or will never see. So there's a deep gratitude I have for the pursuit that I've been on, the journey that I've been on, and then also, most importantly, I'm intentional with the space I create for other human beings to listen to what they have to say, hear them out, and try to help and be a great humanitarian, man. I'm not gonna get it right every day, but I'm gonna wake up the next day, God willing, and push forward to make the world a better place. So basketball helps me do that.
As you can see, there's a deeper level of emotions that I have for helping and serving people around the world. And I've done it since I was a kid. I'll continue on way after basketball. And basketball has given enough, when I say perspective and attention on some of the things I've been into. And now that my life has changed, with that change comes accepting that there are older versions of me that I didn't necessarily like, or things that I would like to do different, or conversations I would like to have with different people to address, man-to-man talk, or man-to-woman talk, or just honest talk. And we all deserve that.
I have that courage to be myself and the courage to stand up for things, but also I know myself well enough to have boundaries and to show respect and to have love for my brothers and sisters that are striving to do better things in this world. Learning how to initiate myself into a craft, that means being knowledgeable enough about yourself to know you're not great at something right away, so it's going to take time to develop, and you have to make that choice. I made that choice very early on that I was willing to do whatever it took in a very healthy way, right, with boundaries, but just being able to accomplish making it to the NBA.
I see people that have dealt with similar pain that I've dealt with, and I had to, go through experiencing my mother 1 year transitioning, then my grandmother the very next year transitioning. And you know, as a young kid, you're just searching for nurturing in the world. So I had a lot of friends and family members really put their arms around me, but there's nothing like getting a hug from your mother or your grandmother.
You're gonna have to learn other skill sets too. And the other skill set that I learned was how to listen, how to become a better leader, how to understand what failure is, what success is, what does that mean to me, what it's like to grow up in an adult world at 18, 19 years old. You know, from 17 years old being a senior in high school to a year later I'm in the NBA. It's a whirlwind of a life.
And to those who are leading with me and also following alongside, walking alongside me, we're gonna get through this. And this world is a wacky place at times, but as long as we persevere together and as long as we continue to just tell each other the truth about how we feel about each other, you know, that's a big thing. I just want honesty. And in order to be honest, I got to be honest myself. And that's the first thing. So I know I can talk in circles and I know all these words get used, but I'm just being honest here. It's been a lot to balance. And now I called for help. And now I have just so many mentors and so many people reaching out and, you know, just taking things off my plate that were never mine in the first place. And they are better suited for that position. So I'll play my role on this big team of changing the world, and others will do the same.
I feel like the power that's in me now is totally different because I have an understanding of all those sacrifices I made that I thought I was gonna have to make were all gonna be worth it, you know? So that's from my point of just on this path to being great, just being ready for the sacrifices.
I struggled with anxiety, I struggled with depression, not really knowing what it was. When I was a kid, I've struggled with PTSD, just seeing the things in the environment that I was growing up in. So basketball wasn't just a sport that I wanted to be professional in, it was an outlet for my pain. And then ultimately, as I got older, I learned how to channel that pain into becoming strength and to becoming perseverance and having the will of a champion way before the accolades and the gold trophies.
Yeah, I've struggled with big moments, just struggling with whether or not do I really want it bad enough. And those are the moments that I don't have strong regrets on, but I know that in the future, if I don't get that opportunity again to change it, then that's probably when the regret starts to seep in, the guilt.
It's just a separation between what's going on here, you know, when I'm playing professionally and what's going on out in the world. And if you don't create that distinction, then it's easy to feel the weight of the world while you're going out there and playing. So, you know, I would be lying sitting here and saying I don't feel what's going on in the world, and nor am I paying attention to it. You know, I just have a huge responsibility, I feel, to continue to serve my community and the underserved. And, you know, when I'm out here playing, it's continuing to leave knowledge with these guys and commit to something, like I always say, bigger than ourselves. You know, this team environment here, or just in basketball in general, it takes sacrifice and compromise. You know, we got to come to an agreement and just stay in balance throughout this long journey. So that's all I'm trying to do.
The last few years, I don't want to be long-winded, but the last few years have been a lot. So it's given me that confidence to be able to speak on things like this now because I know the younger generation is watching.